Hello there. Welcome to the channel, and I'm here to keep in talking about a topic that I kind of talked before. It is my French learning process, and today I want to talk about Anki. Does Anki really work for learn language? I'm here in another MDJ episode, so be free to comment, subscribe, and those things. So I was studying right now in my computer using flashcards with Anki for my French. As I said to you guys, I'm learning French also. I want that French, I want French as my third language, and I'm starting to learn it, and I'm a beginner, like I'm really beginner, and I start to doing flashcards. And today I already did a lot of flashcards, and I want to answer this question. Does flashcards work? You see, in the internet, you will like see a lot of videos saying that flashcards doesn't work, or oh, you should like learn the language through immersion and just by this, or you should not use flashcards at all. Other other ones say, oh, you can use flashcards. It is a good technique to learn the language, but try to not be like dependent of it. And someone can say, oh, flashcards is the best way to learn a language, and you should just do flashcards, choose a word and put this translation with some image or without the image, and they say those things. But I want to like defend the position of that flashcards could be useful to learn a language, and how we should approach it in a very good way, in a very organic way. So first of all, what is the way that we should not approach flashcards? There is like a lot of people that just put there a word, and it corresponded in the language that you already know. So for example, let's say that you are learn English and you are a native speaker of Portuguese, as I am, and you put there the word, let's say, chair, and after that you put as translation cadeira. That is the Portuguese word for chair. You are trying to make like almost a function in your Portuguese, in your native language, to the your target language. It's like almost a function, right? One by one function. So you want to learn this word. This word is, it has as correspondent this word, and those. That could in somehow be useful, right? You will somehow start to like strengthen your connections in the language, and we can say that is not useful at all, has some utility. Like you can say that is not effective, and you can say that this could potentially prejudicate the language learn, and I totally agree. You see, like with when we were talking about substantives, this could be could be useful, and could be like very optimal. A chair is a cadeira, uh, a fan is a ventilador, let's say a blusa it's a shirt, and you can make this function one by one, And with substantives, this could work, right? This really could work because you are starting to learn the substantives by make this association. But even with substantives, we can't like properly learn the language this way because there is some substantives that isn't it doesn't have a correspondent in your native language that exists in your target language. For example, there is some, I will not remember some example like right now, but there is some words for in English that doesn't have like a true correspondent in Portuguese. Because language is not like that. It's not like a bunch of words put together, and if you are trying to learn another language, you just change the words and change the pronunciation. It's not like that. Each language has their own structure and their own way to speak it and to use it, the language, right? I will give an example. In English, we can say that if we want to like speak about things that will happen in the future, we normally use the verb will or the verb shall. I shall be doing my homework tomorrow. I mean that I, as a person, will be in the future doing my homework. And we use will, but in Portuguese, instead of use this auxiliary verb, we just change a bit the verb itself. Like in Portuguese, the verb to be, or like yeah, the verb to be is say. So we can say eu vou fazer o trabalho amanhã. That is the has the meaning of I will doing my homework tomorrow, and I use the verb vai. That means like can have multiple meanings, but in this case it means that I will go do this, but I didn't use the like vai. I use it vou because it's like is the way that we use in normal speech, bro, speech. My pronunciation is very hasty, but it's the way that we say that we shall do something. We shall do something in the future. I change the verb itself. But in English, we use an auxiliary verb. But for example, in Mandarin, Chinese, we didn't have that. And by we, I mean the Chinese. I can't speak Chinese like nothing. I know nothing about Chinese. But what I know is that they don't have like the verb and conjugations of it. They just have the verb itself and they use other words to auxiliate the verb. So they don't have the concept of the verb changing for a time aspect. They just have the verb itself and they put some words together to give other meaning for it. What I mean by this? I mean that the languages throughout the like in every part of the world doesn't work like in a correspondent way. Each language has their own structure, and if you do the flashcards just one by one, you will be just translating words. And first, the words that you are learning could potentially don't have like not have a correspondent in like, let's say there is some words in Portuguese that doesn't have a correspondent in English and vice versa, and with all language there is that. because languages evolve and each one has their own structure, as I said. So the point is, if you do this, could be useful, but has a lot of failures with it, because you are not looking for the word through context and just trying to make this connection one by one. That could lead to you knowing some word but can apply them, and moreover, this problem that I said, that we can't like find a correspondence in both languages. So what makes flashcards useful and why you should not use one by one strategy? I already said why you should not use one by one strategy, but another thing is that if you use that strategy one by one, you will not be used to the language and how it works in real context, in real life. I'm like, if I just know the flashcards of some words in English, I will never be able to talk English. And other very important thing, flashcards could not be the only way that you have contact with the language. Flashcards are just, in my opinion, of course, but if you try it to yourself, right? Do by yourself. I think that people should like train what is the best way to learn a language by themselves. Watch bunch of videos about language learning and try to apply the things that you listen. But if that things you don't like, you can change it. So it's very important that you try by yourself. But what I mean is that if you do flashcards in this way, you will not, doesn't matter how much you try, you will not be in a very good level of the language. You can put some phrases, like very scripted phrases, and that could lead you to a level that you can communicate some ideas and thoughts. But it's more about like scripted words, and you like if you are going to a place and you see something, you know what you should do because you already have flashcards in mind. That's what I mean with scripted phrases and words. But one by one is not a good strategy. You should actually do through contest. So I will like saying how I'm studying language. I'm trying to watch some video. Now I'm trying to watch French. I have French videos. I'm trying to watch French videos. So I see a video in French, and I try to listen and at the same time reading it. So I search for a video that had subtitle, and I watch the video. Meanwhile, I also read the subtitles, and with that, I can try in some way learn some phrases and words through context. But if I find a word that I don't know, I ask ChatGPT 10 phrases or 5 phrases in that using that word through like with context and very simple phrases. So what I'm saying is that I watch a video in French while meanwhile I read the subtitles also. So I watch and at the same time read the subtitles. If I find a word that I don't know, I pause the video, like I cut the word and said, ChatGPT, I want 10 phrases with that word. It will give me like the ChatGPT will put there 10 phrases with that specific word. I would take that and put in my Anki Decky. So Anki Decky is very very weird to say, right? Never mind. But I put like in my deck. So I put there, and after that I do my flashcards. Easy like that. But it's important to know true context. And another thing that Anki has that another ads sometimes doesn't have is that you can put some audio. So if you can just try to choose on audio and put there, so you will be listening to the language while you reading to the language, and meanwhile you try to discover the meaning of that phrase. It's important to do this frequently. And in this way, when you already know the language, you already have contact with the language, that I mean, and you take some part of this real context and ask ChatGPT, oh, give me 10 phrases about this with real words, with simple phrases. And ChatGPT will give to you, and you take this and put in your flashcards. So it's important to do flashcards first, not to do one by one structure, because that really doesn't work. I invite you to try it yourself. Try to do one by one and try to do true contest and see the difference. True contest is much better to learn the language. So I have contact with the language, take some part that I don't know, ask ChatGPT to formulate easy phrases with phrases, bro. My Portuguese got into my English phrases. I asked ChatGPT 10 phrases about that and take the phrases put in my flashcards so I could review them. But it's important to have this contact with the language first, with this real context. And there is a lot of channels. I will not recommend someone you can, because like it will depend of your target language. And another side note is that this video is more focused on mainly language, and what I mean by mainly language is language that are mainstream. So French, English, Portuguese, Spanish, Italian, and those languages. Even Mandarin, because it's mainstream. With another language, it's hard to use ChatGPT, but it's still French. It's still the deck with Anki is still very useful. True contest. I'm not saying one by one, again, but using this strategy, you can like build the way to learn the language, and the flashcards should be in this part to your you reveal them, not to be the way, I'm sorry, the way that you like have contact with the language. You should have contact before, and just use the flashcards to properly reveal them and have in mind all that you are learning. And through spaced repetition, you will not like have the problem of, oh, I'm seeing this each day. It's so boring that I'm reading the same thing each day. Anki has a lot of functionalities, and there is a lot of videos talking about that here in YouTube, but you can try it by yourself. I'm trying to do 300 max review by day, and 30 new phrases by day. So basically, I each day I choose 30 new phrases, and you use the phrases through context to learn the words. I normally choose, let's say, three verbs or two verbs and two substantives, because it's more important to know verbs. Because with verbs, if you are studying verbs, you will be it will be in the phrase, the verb and the subject, the pronoun that indicates who made the action and the action by itself and the object. So I'm going to my house. I am going to my house. So my house is the object, and I'm going to, like, I is the pronoun. Like, I'm am going to is like, I am going is like the verb and the phrasal verb, but I will not like dive into details. But what I mean is that with verbs you can have like the whole phrase helping in your favor. With substantives, otherwise you could have some trouble find good phrase, but still very important to know them. Like, and the important substantives is very useful. But what I mean is, with verbs you can build phrase. At the same time you learn the verb and the object, and in the object you learn substantives and pronouns. So try to choose verbs to put there. I'm trying to think about language learn and formulate some system to myself so I could learn languages properly and in an easy way. This is the summary what I'm thinking and what I'm doing with French to improve my French. If you like share this opinion, feel free to subscribe to the channel, and if you have another opinion, feel free to comment down below. I'm doing these videos mainly because I want to improve my English, and I want to sound more fluently and to be properly more fluently. Oh, bro, I put fluently in the phrase before that, but I want to be more fluent, and for that, I shall record videos here more often, probably. Who knows? But it's that way. It's my opinion of flashcards and Anki more specifically. But it's this way. I think that if you have a contact with the language and you want a way to reveal the words and phrase and concepts that you already know and you are learning, flashcards, more specifically Anki, is a very useful tool indeed. So I shall see you in the next video. Bye.